Oh boy, 8.1.2, but like, they're all out of order. Like, you haven't noticed by now, I'm really recording these all entirely out of order. I figured it'd be better just to, you know, post them in the order that, the quests, like, 8.1.1 to 8.1.6, rather than doing it in the order I did it, because that'd be confusing and I'd be bouncing all over the place, because, I just figured, whatever, right? I had to get it all done anyway, might as well bounce around to do the ones that I wanted to do first, and then go back and do the harder ones. So that's what I did when I was initially going through this. But anyway, the nodes in this one are Adaptive, Combo Party, Double Down, Right Back at It, and Skill Wrath. And it's a lot of nonsense and paragraphs that basically just mean you build your combo meter, you get cruelties, which increase your critical damage. You hit them while they're debuff immune, which they become after you knock them down. You get precisions, which make you hit criticals, which get boosted by your cruelties. And if you're a skill attacker, you gain a fury. And if you lose your combo, you start degenning for however much your combo was. Blah, 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 blah. Really simple. Just basically, don't get hit, and you'll be fine. You'll eventually stack enough damage to just do what I just did right there with Nick Fury's special 2, which is obliterate a absolutely asinine amount of health off of the defender. Yes, the reason I brought Nick in because, sorry, he's a skill attacker, which means he's going to get furies, and, I'm confident enough that even if I do lose my combo with Nick, I got a second life as a little backup, so, don't really have to worry about too much, and these defenders aren't terribly difficult anyway. Like you saw Sentry, most he had was that little light beam on his specials, but even then, it's like whatever, right? It's like dodging Iron Man specials, super easy, just one little swipe back. Loki's about the same anyway too, look at this, man's got nothing going on for him. And, Adaptive does make it a little bit harder to actually hit, kill them quickly, because they gain that physical and energy resistance. And as with most of these people, you only really have to worry about the physical when you're using a skill attacker, or at least, my skill attackers. I did bring Doom along, as well as, the others in this party, Cable, APOC, and iBomb, purely because of, I didn't actually know what boss I'd be taking at the end of this path. I just saw the path and said, hey, Nick Fury looks good for this path, and, I'll bring Doom along in case Nick can't do a fight, which, will end up happening later on, because Doom can take advantage of all the adaptive buffs, to nullify them and gain a little bit of power, and, as you just saw, I lost my combo, degen for a bunch of damage, thanks to getting absolutely blasted by Loki's special 1, which I always have trouble with, because creeping hitboxes screw me over all the time, but it's okay. Yeah, so I didn't actually know what boss I'd be taking at the end of this. I figured I'll bring like a slight counter to everyone, and then I'll just decide when I get there, depending on how healthy my team was, which, honestly, team was pretty healthy at the end of this. Didn't have to worry too much about anything, so I was just like, I'll just take one I haven't taken before and see how it goes, which ended up being, once again, the easier boss, because my initial exploration, I took on a harder boss for no goddamn reason, just because I refused to read the giant paragraphs of nodes and just decided, hey, he looks easy, I think on the initial completion, I took out most of the bosses where you just have to intercept in order to win, which, if you can't remember, didn't go terribly well for me. Because, well, intercepting is like, I'm okay at it, I can't do it when I have to. I can do it accidentally, I can do it in the flow of the fight, but I can't do it when I know I'm supposed to intercept, because then I'll just try and bait out intercept and I'll end up getting hit in the face, which is stupid, but whatever. And I took Torch's special 2 into the block because I'm terribly unconfident in dodging it. Every time I try, his skills with creeping hitbox, of course comes and gets me and I can't do anything about it, but he's dead, he's down. And this is the fight that I knew I wouldn't be able to take Nick Fury into. This is why I brought Doom. Is because Claire's going to start in her bleed phase, and she'll gain power every time she's immune to something, and her bleed phase makes her immune to Nick Fury's bleeds, so I didn't want her gaining absurd amounts of power. So I just brought in Doom to take advantage of the adaptive node and just, slowly take her down with my special 3 in the Doom cycle. Which honestly worked decently well, all things considered, although she does go debuff immune every time I heavy her for a stagger. So it wasn't like the most clean fight or anything, but, as long as it works, right? And plus, the debuff immunity isn't like terribly long. It's like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds maybe. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the exact duration, and it also does not really matter ever. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just kind of cycling for special 3s right here, making her drain her power, because I knew if she got knocked down before I could pop my special 3, it might be a little bit bad. But yeah, and besides, I get fully healed off of everything that happens because she will consistently be putting like very low damage bleeds on me, which don't matter at all. Like you can see I have 6 bleeds on me and I'm still healing all the damage that they're doing, which is really nice actually, all things considered. But yeah, I don't know, it's a pretty easy path. You just gotta worry about, just watching your combo. And I think pretty much any skill attacker would work, as long as you're comfortable enough using them. And shit, I could have brought Massacre in here. Dude, that would have been such a good use for Massacre. Holy shit. Could you imagine that? Actually, no, it wouldn't matter because his special 2 isn't able to crit. Because, whatchamacallit, it's into the block. So no crits there. So no bonus damage either, which means it's just his basic attacks that would get boosted. So actually, maybe not. Maybe not the best option. There's probably better ones. I don't know, like, Aegon would probably build his shit anyway. And I could, oh dude, Shang-Chi though. God damn, Shang-Chi's crits would have been crazy. Alas. I actually don't even think I had Shang-Chi at this point. Did I have him? I can't remember. Oh man. Yeah, these are like these fights were recorded so long ago. I recorded them like mid-October, and now it's November 20th. My god. It's so it's been a hot minute, and I actually don't remember anything from back then. So as I'm doing these fights, I'm just like, it's all coming back to me slowly. But yeah, no, this fight is taking forever. I completely blame the fact that I didn't bring another skill attacker in here to take care of this. And Doom's not extremely fast, especially when they become debuff immune, so they can't land those shocks for those free heavies. And I'm also not playing Doom very fast either. I could be playing him a lot more recklessly, but I'm just not. I don't know. She should be dead here, or at least close to it. My goodness, dude, she's just staying alive. That's crazy. And then I take 15% damage, like an idiot. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely a lot better options I could have taken in here, like Falcon and stuff, or Shang-Chi, if I had him. I can't remember. I had him at some point during these runs. I can't remember if I got him here or later on, because a few of these were actually recorded in like September, like immediately after I did my completion and like started up like editing that video. I was like, I'm bored and I want that rank 4 gem from it, the exploration. So I'm gonna start my journey and start doing these completion runs. I figured I might as well record them too, right? So got them all. I just never got around to editing them until now because I've been doing other stuff. But I don't know. It's been interesting. You see how much faster it is with an actual skill attacker. Like, look at these bleeds from Nick Fury. They're going freaking crazy. 4K, or not 4K, 400. No, 500. No, 500. Every tick, and I just gotta watch out for her invisibility. She's already at 34% health in about maybe an eighth of the time that it took Doom to get Claire down here. I should have brought another person in, but I was like, I gotta save people for the boss because I trust Nick to take care of this, and these no's aren't terribly restrictive anyway. It's just like a speed thing. And at the end of the day, and look at that, we're already on the final fight. Hello, Ms. Medusa. And for good reason, I bring in Nick first, although Doom would have been the better option in terms of controlling her, a little auto block that she gets every time she gets 3 Furies. Because Nick can't really control that, and the best I can do is just wait for them to fall off, which I of course do not do because I'm impatient. But I figured, might as well just get her down as low as I possibly can before I eventually end up dying. Like, if she auto blocks, thank God she doesn't hit me. And I don't know. I mean, it's working kind of well. There are better options. There are better ways to have gone about this. Yeah, because I'm just super impatient. Look at that. She goes into it just hits me right back. My luck only lasts so long. But yeah, so I'm just gonna finish it off with freaking Doom. Just because I know he works. And if you can't tell, I'm feeling a little sick right now. Throat's a little clogged. It's okay. Figured I might as well just get these things out because I've got nothing else to do, nothing better to do with my time while I'm feeling like this. But, you know, it's not healthy. But when have I ever cared about my own health? You know, I've got freaking hallucinations forcing me to do these little side quests. Of course, that's just an excuse for me desperately wanting to become Paragon. Like, it's a need at this point. I mean, we're reaching Cyber Weekend, and I still, like, you know, at this point, obviously, you guys know that, like, I've got, you know, 8.1 fully explored, so I got that second rank 4 gem. But what you guys don't know is that I still don't know who the hell to use it on, and I'm still holding on to it because I don't have my third rank 4 gem, or rank 4 materials. I'm still waiting on this this last EOP to finish up, so when it's done, I'll have enough to get that last one, and I guess I could just decide then, because my hand will be forced. But the goal is to get Paragon before December, because I know damn well I'm not going to get it before before the Cyber Weekend, so I'm going to have to say oh well to those deals. Oh yeah, but by the way, this War Machine, I didn't read the nodes. I just kind of went in there just trying to figure out what he did, because I didn't feel like reading it, so I figured I'd learn by doing. But basically what he does is if you don't have a debuff on yourself, like that, you're going to take a lot more reflective damage. But if you have debuffs on yourself, that damage is going to be reflected onto War Machine instead. So my strike here was just to bait his special ones, but then those debuffs fall off and I take a 41k burst damage to my face, which was fun and good and interesting. But here's the real counter I brought in. I brought an I-Bomb. I didn't know if he'd work or not, but I figured he would after seeing Doom like utterly fail. Because I-Bombs, you know, now that because he's awakened, he starts with those 3 poison debuffs on himself, so I can automatically, you know, get into that node, start reflecting that damage, and I'm taking very minimal amounts and healing it all back anyway, because of my willpower. So if I just keep baiting special ones, I get those suppressions on me for extra bonus healing, as well as those poisons on me that are pretty much permanent so long as I don't lose my poison aura, which I'm about to throw out just about, you know, just after he throws a special one. Just so I can start poisoning him, get that damage out, because, you know, I want my big boy damage I can throw out. But trying to build as much poisons on myself as I can before I throw it, just because the longer I wait, the more poisons I build, the less time, or the less I have to like be stressed about keeping the aura up, because I'll have more poisons to work with. I don't know. I really did like I-Bomb a lot. You know, he's pretty useful for a lot of like, oh, you need to poison them, or like stuff like this where, oh, you need to be debuffed, or you need to be like, you know, crippled or poisoned or whatever. It's not a full poison immunity, so stuff like, you know, poisons have like increased potency or whatever that will still kill him, which is bad in, you know, in the sense, but you know, he's useful for some stuff, you know, not so useful for others. But if I need like a poison immunity, like for sure, you know, I've got I Hulk anyway. The little duo, I Hulk, I-Bomb, it's pretty nice. Feel pretty, what's the word? Blessed to have the both of them. Just because I-Bomb was actually the one who got me through a lot of Act 6, early Act 7 content, just because of his like his passive damage and all that, being able to just pass through a lot of this, you know, these more annoying nodes, or just like where stuff where like, you know, the fight's gonna take forever, so you might as well like focus on yourself and make sure that, you know, you keep your damage up for that passive, you know, poison damage and the acid wash and all that. Because it is really nice to be able to just say that, like, you know, you don't have to hit them all the time for your damage like you do with people like Apocalypse, or, you know, even Nick Fury, because his bleeds don't last for as long as these poisons and these acid washes do, because all you have to do to place the poisons on them is just be close to them when you got that aura up. But yeah, anyway, that's the path.